Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our sisters. So this is the translation of the message that she sent to me. The translation, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? I have lived a very long life and I have seen many things. So I came across your WhatsApp number in this other WhatsApp group I am in. So there are a lot of confessions that get shared in that group. So that was when I saw your own numbers and I decided to reach out to you so that I can give you my own confession, my own side of the story. My confession, it goes on like this. I have watched a lot of these young people as they move out of the village, and the more that they move out of the village, and then they drift away further and further away from our traditions. They say that the world is changing, but to me, there is only one truth, only one way to respect your own ancestors and the spirits that are always there with us to guide us. This was the way that I was taught by my own grandmother, and it is the way that I have lived. I am a woman who is aged 65 years old, and I am cursed to die when one of my grandchildren would have accepted that they will become a witch like I am. If that does not happen, I am going to die a slow but a painful death. I might even live until I am more than 100 years. And that is not a nice place where you want to be, because I do not have anyone to take care of me. As for my grandchildren, since they know that I am a witch, they have chosen to abandon me. They have forgotten me. And for that, I keep on reminding them. Whenever I get the chance, I do curse them. I have 4 grandchildren, all young, all full of promises. They left Zim after I had cursed them. Then they went to South Africa, seeking work and a better life. All of them, what I did was that when they returned back to our country, I asked money from them, not a lot. I still remember Tafadzwa, he gave me only 20 rand. I still have it. He gave me this money a very long time ago. So I used that 20 rand that he gave me to make sure that he will never succeed. He can only be hated in that land where he is. No blessings should follow him because they have refused. All of them, I have visited them in their dreams, telling them that I am ready to die. I am ready to meet my Maker, to pay for the sins that I have committed from the day that I was born until the day that I will die. But they kick me out of their houses using their prayers. I used to be proud of them. I thought that I had raised them very well because growing up, I used to give them a lot of charms in preparation of what was going to come. For I knew that I wanted one amongst them to carry on with the duty of being a witch in the village, not to leave the village. I used to bless them a lot. You will go out there and you will make something out of yourself. And these were true blessings. What people do not know is that a witch does not only give out curses. If a witch blesses you, if a witch tells you that you are going to be rich, indeed you will be rich. But if a witch curses you, you will also become poor. I used to bless them, but when I heard that in the city where they had gone to, they were now embracing a foreign god, a Christian god, and they had forgotten about who they were. They had forgotten their roots, all for the promises of a better afterlife. That was when I decided to curse them. I cursed them, and then they left the country and they went to South Africa. So my oldest grandson, he was a strong one, determined and ambitious. When he called me to tell me that he was going to church, I felt a chill go through my bones. How could he, after all that we had been through, after all that I had promised my grandmother? Because if you are a witch, if there is no one to replace you, your spirit will never rest in peace. You will keep on coming back. So my grandmother said that I was supposed to make sure that there will always be someone to replace us witches in the family. Otherwise, we will never have peace for all eternity. Unless if there is always someone that is going to be there to continue performing the duties as a witch. When they told me that they had now chosen to become Christians, I waited for them to return back, and then I used more charms on them. But those charms that I was using against them, they were not working at all. I then turned to my other friends, since I am no stranger to these rituals, so that we can summon other demons to bind them. After I had summoned my friends who helped me to call out the spirits of the demons, we were all gathered in a small hut. We took little things that we needed, your herbs, sacred oils, and then we began to call upon the spirits, and then they came. I personally saw the spirit of my grandmother. She came, and I told her that I was not succeeding in finding someone who would inherit our witchcraft. My grandmother, with all of her knowledge, she then said that we should strike them where it will hurt them the most. I then asked my grandmother and I said, where can we strike them? Must we kill their children, their wives? Then the spirit of my grandmother said, no. Strike them in their wallet. Make sure that they would never have freedom. Whenever they have money, make sure that they will lose their money, or maybe they will get robbed, so much that they will start to question the very existence of that God that they claim that they now serve. I might be talking with you, but I might be in South Africa, busy casting spells on my grandchildren. I had chosen my granddaughter, Chipo, not her real name. She was supposed to be the one to take care of these tokologies that were left behind by my grandmother. I have an owl, I have a monitor lizard, a python, and a cobra, a king cobra. These are the items that I use. And yes, of course, in the village, we have some hyenas, but they do not belong to anyone. They just belong to us as witches. If I want to use that hyena, I can just call it. If it is free, then I ride on that hyena as if it is a horse, going to wherever I want to go and bewitch. I visited Chipo so many times before she had gotten married, even after she had gotten married. I made her husband to beat her up, thinking that they were going to get separated, but they are still staying together. There are so many times that I go there to South Africa just after the sun would have gone down, and I possess Chipo's husband's body, and I start to whisper demonic thoughts into his mind, like murder her, kill her. Can't you see that she is wasting your time? There are better women out there, but both of them, they are prayerful. Whenever I do that, I get sick for a couple of days. But it is this spirit, the spirit of witchcraft, that is stubborn, the stubbornness in me, even though I know that what I'm doing is not going to change anything. They have made their decisions and nothing is going to change. But still, I just want one amongst them. It is far much better that they all suffer if they do not want to become like me. This is my own confession, and I also want to warn others that are still growing up. You cannot leave behind the ways of your ancestors. If your grandmother used to be a witch, know that when you refuse to become a witch like her, there are consequences for her spirit will never rest in peace until one amongst her grandchildren becomes a witch like her. Her spirit, let me remind you, will always be watching. Even if I die, their grandchildren, they are still going to be my grandchildren. My spirit will come back and will find one amongst them who would be willing to continue with the duty that was given to us. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.